Park. Here at Southern National, as I am Upstate Al, bringing alongside my good friend Kelly Dahl as we get ready to bring you tonight's racing action of the North-South Racing Street Stock Series presented by Sandi Paws Rescues. Based out of Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, Sandi Paws Rescue is a 100% volunteer-run foster home-based animal rescue dedicated to saving the lives of abused, neglected, and unwanted dogs and cats. They provide safe shelter, medical care, rehabilitation, and loving forever homes for animals in need. Their mission is simple but powerful: to protect the quality of life and improve the well-being of abused, neglected, and unwanted companion animals. For more information, you can find out on the web at sandipaws.org. Send them an email at sandipawsrescue@gmail.com. RC2 Graphic Solutions and Promotions is a proud sponsor of the North-South Racing League Street Stock Series. We thank them for being a proud member of our family. Wizards Designs, your number one designer for whether it's something simple or something very complex. Wizards Designs can make it happen. Need your race car to look good on the racetrack? Well, Austin Designs is the one-stop shop, the place you need to go. And whether your real hot rod needs a tune-up or you want to add that little extra horsepower, head over to the Zoofab Garage. J&G Hardwood Flooring, with many years of experience, can make your next home improvement project look great. Check them out at J&G Hardwood Flooring for installation, finishing, refreshing. They also give free estimates. And Mad Plowing, serving Oregon, Wisconsin, a proud sponsor of the Street Stocks. Well, Kelly, we are getting ready to see some high-banked, high-action racing right here tonight in the SONATTY 125.
Yeah, this is going to be the closest thing that we're going to have to Martinsville on the schedule. It is going to be a fight for that bottom side here tonight. Drivers are going to be diving down into that corner, basically trying to force their way up the inside to get the fastest line around this track. We've been talking about the outside lane, watching it in practice, and it does not quite seem like it's really going to come in tonight. There's a couple drivers trying it, so maybe they will see surprises later on if that inside line heats up during a long green flag run.
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the keys, is if we get that long green flag run, or if that bottom line is kind of stacked up. You can carry a lot more momentum on the outside, but to your point, Kelly, that outside lane just does not seem to have the grip. Yeah, but we'll see what happens. But I tell you, in practice so far, as we take a look at tonight's race information, we are in Lacoma, North Carolina for 50 miles, 125 laps. And they've had 8 races here, 5 in the street stocks, 2 with the late model stocks, and 1 in the super late model. And they have 8 different winners, so not a repeat winner. Will we get our first here tonight? We will find out. Track record held by Ryan Johnson with a 15.378 second lap. And it's, well, Kelly, almost the entire field had broken that headed in there as qualifying gets ready to go. We'll take a look at the current point standings. Bryan Hacker, the defending champion, up on top of the standings over Randy Nichols, Dustin Shepard, Ryan Johnson, and Scott Austin after 2 events. Tonight makes round number 3. So it'll be interesting to see. Remember, Bryan Hacker's going to have to do that shotgun rule later on this evening. But first car up on the racetrack is going to be our rookie, the number 45. This is Travis Sokup, looking to put his first laps here in this afternoon.
Yeah, Travis coming around to finish his first lap. We'll see what he's going to set as this baseline. Both him and Justin Grosser come across the line. Travis will get a 15.137. He'll go to the top for now. A few other drivers coming in with their first lap times, none of them beating that 15.1 just yet. So Travis finding some speed here. Gary Eschen going to be close as he gets to a 15.199, but still Travis hanging on to that top spot.
Hanging on that top spot, and that was a brand new track record so far here in qualifying. Is now Jeff Bergner going to go into the number 2 spot with the silver bullet. How about Brandon Elvis jumping up there to spot number 3? A couple cars on the racetrack right now is Braden Campbell in that 33 car, looking to put in some good times here in Al's Speed Shop qualifying. is now Dante Curtis with a new track record with a 15.11. Goes to the top of the scoring of the winner from round number 1.
Yeah, a few more drivers still looking to put their laps down. Braden Campbell, I believe, just came across the line. Very slow first lap, so it looks like he's just looking to heat up his tires and coming around and getting that second lap as his flyer. Coming off of turn 4 now. Let's see what we can do. Can he beat that 15.117? No, not a great time from him here tonight.
Inside the J&D Farms redraw, though, as he sits in that 5th spot. Ryan Johnson out on the racetrack in the 38 car. He'll cross the line, the 11th quick on lap number 1 for Ryan Johnson. Or, excuse me, that was lap number 2, Kelly.
Yeah, so Ryan Johnson only going to be able to fit in a 15.2, so he will be outside of our redraw right now. On the bubble is the 02 car of Dan Janjanin with a 15.200. A few more drivers out there looking to beat those times. Scott Austin will just pip him, and he's going to get in there with a 15.193. Dylan Connor coming across the line on his second lap. What's he going to do? He's going to go to the top of the board. 15.104 for Dylan Connor.
Yeah, that will be a new track record, and we got a slew of drivers. Guillaume Fortin, a driver of the 13 QC, up on the racetrack. 24th quick on lap number 1 for Fortin, this will be his second time out with us here. Had a tough go of it 1 week ago at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. Up off of turn number 4, Checkered is out, and Fortin gonna jump to 4th quick, but how about Bryan Hacker? New track record, 15.02.
Yeah, but because he won last week, we're going to send him to the back of the field, but he does get to take home that bonus point, take home that Al's Speed Shop Fast Time Award. That will not be taken away from him, but he will not be joining us in the redraw tonight. He'll start at the back of the field, and with that pace, he may have a good shot at climbing all the way through the field to the front.
And he'll jump on there, be our fast time here with just 1 minute left to go in qualifying, Kelly. And it looks like everyone has at least made an attempt out of the 28 cars that have signed in here tonight. Another great field of race cars for the Sandi Paws Rescue Street Stock Series here for the North-South Racing League. And going to be a good race here tonight, I think. Look at the times. Everybody all the way down until 25th, beating the old track record, which was held by Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, we're going to have to start getting people together here and see if we can get our redraw moving along here. As we will take the top 8, we will put them all into a blender and see where everyone comes out.
This is my favorite part of the night. You do know that, right?
It is a great part of the night. You get to really shake up how things are going to be for the start of this race.
So as we do that,
moment to also.
Go ahead, Kelly.
I was saying we also get a quick moment to talk to all of our drivers, so everyone gets a moment to say their piece.
Yeah, and this week's redraw being brought to us by J&D Farms. J&D Farms is not what you normally would think, so don't bother Googling it. It's not your average sponsor. J&D Farms is the brainchild of a self-proclaimed crazy redneck who just thought iRacing was cool and wanted to see his name on the broadcast. And you know what? We respect that, and we thank them very much. So whether you pull the lucky number 1 or get stuck with that dreaded 8, remember, it's all thanks to J&D Farms, supporting racing, supporting the show, an official legend of the North-South Racing League. So thank you to J&D Farms as we get ready to go with our top 8 redraw. Top 8 spots are about to get ready to shuffle up here. Just because they set fast time does not mean that we are going to see them start in that order. So the first one up will be the driver of Dylan Connor, and Connor in that 90 car. Another fast time gets you here at the J&D Farms top 8 redraw. How tricky is the track conditions out there tonight?
Definitely threw me for a loop there in qualifying. The track time got up to close to 80 and by the end of practice, and it dropped back down to 74 right there. But I think it'll be fun to race. I think the top side's going to come in really good at the end.
Yeah, we were watching practice there, and it looked like some guys were struggling up on that outside there. But so what makes you think it's going to come in? Did you feel something during our happy hour here tonight?
Yeah, it just seems like after I'd say about 10 or 15 laps on the tires, and seems to push really bad, and it seems like the only way to kind of get it freed up is to run that high side where the banking can kind of catch you. So I see it coming in, but I could be wrong.
Well, we'll take and find out. But right now, congratulations on making it into the top 8 redraw. Is you get to be our first picker here, 1 through 8. What number would you like here tonight?
I'm gonna go with 7.
Number 7. Now you're going to stay on the inside there. You're going to be inside of row number 2. You're going to start in that 3rd spot. What's your thoughts?
I'm happy with that. It's a very good spot to start off the race with. I think, like I said, I think it'll take about half the race before the top really comes in. So I'm happy with that.
All right, well, best of luck to you. Hopefully we're talking to you once again here a little bit later on in the program. Congratulations, Dylan, and good luck here tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Dylan Connor going to roll off in P number 3. Kelly, our first of our 8 drivers to choose. Now you're going to catch up with a feature winner already on the season, the number 03 of Dante Curtis.
Yeah, here now with Dante Curtis. And Dante, what are you expecting out of the Southern National Motorsports Park here tonight?
Tied around the bottom, probably. Hopefully not a lot of cautions from everybody stacking up, but it's going to be close quarters for sure.
Close quarters, you ready to get your elbows out here tonight then?
I hope so. I hope so.
All right, well, number 7 has been taken. Everything else is on the board, including the pole position still. So what would you like here tonight?
Let's go number 3.
Number 3 coming off the board. So you'll be sliding back into the 2nd row and starting on the outside. Is that not a great spot for you then?
I could have been worse. I usually draw worse, so we'll take it.
All right, well, a P4 start here for Dante Curtis. Hopefully you can at least improve 1 position, and we'll be talking to you later on here tonight.
Hope so. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, good luck to you, Dante. So Dante Curtis, he draws 4th place, and he'll be starting on the outside, first of our redraw drivers to pick that lane so far. But Al, who you got next?
We got a driver from north of the border, a driver of the 13 QC, Mr. Guillaume Fortin. And Fortin, good to see you back out here with the North-South Racing League with the Sandi Paws Rescue Street Stock Series. Congratulations on making it into the J&D Farms Top 8 redraw. How you feeling about headed into tonight's 125-lap main event?
Hopefully it goes better than last week. Yeah, last week I was a little bit rusty, but hopefully this week goes well.
Yeah, last week we don't really want to talk about last week. If you weren't here, Guillaume got roughed up a little bit and had to pull the car behind the wall a little bit early on in that one. But hey, making it back in the top 8 redraw. The poll is still out there. Numbers to choose from are any number but 7 and 3. Both of those have been taken. What number would you like?
I'll go with number 5.
Number 5. Oh, that is going to put you on the outside of row number 3. What's that? Is that okay, you think? Is the outside not where you want to be early? We're hearing that the drivers are starting to think that maybe the outside will come in.
Yeah, I think the outside is going to be good after like 10 or 15 laps with the tire fall off, but hopefully it goes well at the beginning too, and hopefully I can make some ground.
All right, well, best of luck here. Rolling off from P number 6, Guillaume. We'll keep an eye on that 13. Have fun and be safe out there.
Thank you.
Guillaume Fortin going to roll off P number 6 here tonight as he's taking the 5 off the board.
Yeah, we're going to move along, get to our next driver here. Sorry, my screen results got a little skewed there as we move to the next session, but we have got our first rookie here tonight, Travis Soka. Travis, catching up with you here tonight. Are you expecting this race this week to be hopefully a little bit better than how the grip was last week at Myrtle Beach?
Yeah, I hope so. Hope it goes a little bit better for sure.
All right, well, it looks a lot of drivers are talking about the inside line being dominant, but the outside coming in a little later. What do you think about that?
I don't have a lot of seat time. Didn't do any practice, so I'm just going to have to figure out when it comes along.
All right, well, half the choices have not been made. Sorry, I'm doing math terribly tonight. We've got Still the front row open though for you, including the pole position. So your choices tonight are 1, 2, 4, 6, and 8. What would you like?
I'll take 6.
6 coming off the board. So you will be starting on the inside, and it'll be in P5 here for you tonight. So you think that inside line's gonna be a nice boost here to start this race?
That would be nice.
All right, well, Travis, thank you for coming out and talking to us. Hopefully we'll be talking to you a little bit later on if you make it up to those podium spots. So good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
So Travis Sukup will come in at 5th place, basically right where he qualified. So he'll essentially not be redrawn at all. It doesn't get shuffled around and just stays right where he started.
Hey, it'll be easy on us, Kelly. But up next is the Silver Bullet, Jeff Bergner, making it into the J&D Farms top 8 redraw. And Jeff had a good qualifying there to get into this redraw. The front row's still available. What's it going to take to stay up here inside this top 8 early on in this race?
Yeah, with my lack of skill, a lot of luck.
Well, you're too harsh on yourself.
Yeah, it's easier to set the bar low than try to achieve from there.
I like your aim small, miss small, right?
Yeah, aim small, miss small, maybe less accidents. We'll see.
All right, buddy. Well, I can tell you the front row is still available. The numbers to choose from are 1, 2, 4, and 8. What number would you like here tonight in the J&D Farms top 8 redraw?
Let's try 8.
Number 8. Well, bad news for you. That's shotgun on that. Going to be outside row number 4. But the outside, we're being told that a lot of guys are starting to think that this outside is going to be a place maybe to head towards the latter half of this race. You think that's true?
It's very possible. It appears that way. It all depends. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't ran up there much, so I couldn't tell you.
All right, well, the best of luck for you. Sorry they're about to get in that dreaded 8 here. You can blame J&D Farms for that. But we thank you for your time. Best of luck here tonight.
Hey, thank you guys. Have a good night.
Jeff Bergner going to roll off from P number 8, Kelly, and that front row is still available as you've caught up with Brandon Elvis.
Yeah, here now with Brandon Elvis. Brandon, seems like you're looking to turn your luck around here tonight at the Southern National. You've got at least a car good enough for 7th in qualifying. You think you've got enough pace to take the win here tonight?
I don't know, man. Depends on how it goes. Track position is gonna be pretty key here. The car's pretty tight, and might have some tire strategy in play here. It's hard to really tell here early, but I don't know, man. We'll see if we can get some good track position. We'll be okay.
Well, good news on that track position front. The only spots we have left in the redraw are 1st, 2nd, and 7th. So your chances are pretty high that you're going to be starting towards the front.
Yeah, or 7th.
Or 7th, yeah, but let's see. I mean, you qualified 7th, so they'd pretty much put you right back where you started. But your choices here are 1, 2, and 4. What would you like?
Let's go with 4.
We'll go with 4, and yeah, you're starting 7th. So
Yep, okay.
unfortunately, you had a 66% chance of getting the front row, and you missed. So
Yep.
Hopefully, though, you got that speed. Hopefully, you can find that tire strategy, and maybe we'll find you in the top 3 later on tonight. Talk to you.
I hope so, man.
All right. Well, good luck to you, Brandon, and hopefully, we'll see you later on.
Thank you.
So Brandon Elvis does not draw the front row. That means all we have left is the front 2 spots, Al.
Yeah, the front 2 spots available, and one of these drivers, we seem to be talking to him a lot early on this season, Dustin Shepard. I got some great news for you this week.
All right.
You have 100% chance of starting on the front row.
Wow.
I mean, I know. Usually I'm the bearer of bad news for you, but hey, tonight.
Yeah, usually.
Tonight in the J&D Farms top 8 redraw, the front row still available. Both spots, by the way, are the only ones available. So whatever you choose, Braden Campbell will get the opposite of. So pretty good here.
Yeah.
How you feeling out there on the high banks? This real bull ring of a racetrack here at Southern National.
In between, depending on how I make a run, sometimes I can keep the right front on it. Sometimes I wear a little more than I need to. So hopefully I don't overdrive the car. And like I said, the track's gripped up, and it's going to be easy to kill the right front tonight.
It's all about managing those Hoosier Racing tires on there. Good news is, as long as you brought enough money, you have unlimited sets in the pits if you need them.
Yes, definitely. So, but track position is going to be key, though, so I don't know if we'll have any takers tonight, depending on how the cautions fall.
Absolutely. All right, so you got to choose between numbers 1 and 2. And like I said, a guaranteed starting on the front row. Just matter if you're on the inside or outside. What number would you like?
We'll go 1.
Gonna go 1. That'll be the outside of the front row. Hey, don't get mad at me. You gotta blame J&D Farms. They're our top 8 redraw. It's not anything to do with us. No. But hey, starting up front though, be able to get that like you said track position. The outside seems to be there a little bit, but you probably want to get in and just ride for a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. So the outside it'll work some. It's just I think you'll if you go early, you'll tear your stuff up.
Well, we wish you the best of luck here tonight, Dustin. Thank you for your time, and congratulations on the front row. And we'll hopefully be talking to you a little bit later on here tonight after the SONATTY 125.
Thank you.
All right, Dustin Shepard going to roll off on Pete number 2. That leaves Braden Campbell. Kelly, I'll let you deliver the good news.
Yeah, catching up now with Braden Campbell. Braden, it looks like you just turned your mic back on, so you got a copy with us tonight?
I do.
All right, Braden, well, you are the last one here up on the board, which means you basically get the scraps of what everyone else has picked. Good news, though, for you tonight. The scraps are the best part because you are starting on the pole.
Hey, we'll take it.
Well, it looks like tonight, especially stark contrast to last week, it seems like the car is a lot tighter and a lot more gripped up. It seems like you're a lot more concerned with the right front than the right rear tonight.
Yeah, I think the inside, is a little tougher than the outside, so hopefully the outside lane comes in.
Well, a lot of people are expecting that outside lane to come in, which is surprising me because when we started the night, I thought everyone was going to be hunting the bottom, fighting for that bottom lane, but sounds like you guys are looking to see that outside lane come in.
Yeah, it'll make for great racing, so.
All right, Braden, well, good luck to you. We're going to let you go here, and hopefully you can turn that pole position into a good ending position, and maybe we'll be talking to you on later on tonight.
All right, thanks, guys.
So Braden Campbell, by virtue of being the last one to pick, gets a start on the pole here tonight, Al.
Yeah, it gets on the pole there, and that's the second time this season that we have seen that. Race number 1, Rodney Huntoon got the pole, virtue of qualifying inside the top 8, and was the last one to choose, and everyone left on the pole there. So really good mix up of the front here, and I think some very fast guys that are going to do well here tonight. We can't thank J&D Farms for being our top 8 redraw sponsor. Kelly is they like to do some farming and mix up that front row, and we can't thank them enough.
Yeah, it is going to be a good mix up here tonight as we have essentially the slowest qualifier of the redraw going to be starting up on the pole, but I don't think that really means much when the slowest qualifier is only a couple of hundredths of a second behind the fastest qualifier. So very tight grid here tonight. 28 cars, I think, total. So that means it is going to be a very busy racetrack out there. And we keep talking about inside lane, outside lane. And it's not like the outside is running super high. The outside lane is really only a car width up. So it's still going to be very close quarter battles in those corners.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see where 8 tires are better than 4 in some instances. You're going to have some accidental contact, and it is a long ways up to that outside wall. It would not surprise me to see some wild restarts here as we move on through tonight here at Southern National. This track always a virtue for good racing, and a lot of crossover moves. You gotta be patient though, as we heard a lot of people really concerned about using up those tires early on in the event. Yeah, they have unlimited, but once you get mirrored back in traffic, Kelly, with 28 cars out there on the racetrack, it's only going to take a handful of laps before the leaders are in lap traffic here at Southern National.
And the other thing is they have an unlimited set amount of tires, but these are not NASCAR pit crews. It takes time to swap the tires on these street stocks, and these are short tracks. You can't just come down and take 4 and expect to be on lead lap. It's very possible if you take 4 tires, you go a lap down, even pitting under caution. So
I think
these drivers are gonna have to make the choice of lefts or rights.
I think even just 2 tires, depending on where you are in the running order, whether or not you can get on pit road and get tires. I mean, it's going to be questionable just for fuel. 125 laps, though, it didn't sound like anybody was overly concerned with fuel. So that makes me kind of lean towards maybe we won't see any takers come down pit road for fuel. But again, if we get that long green flag run and you're on the throttle a lot more than you really expect this little racetrack to be on, they might be going through that Sunoco race fuel.
Yeah, usually these guys have to pit at least once at some point, even if it is early on. So I don't think there is a huge concern for fuel, because I'm sure they all think they're going to be able to have at least one caution flag where they can come down, throw a splash of fuel into that thing, and get the car back going here. But the checkered flag is now waving on our warm-up, and that means we are going to get ready to go to the grid here and start our race.
Yeah, it's going to be a good race here. We hope you've tuned in. This is your last chance to maybe get up, run to the bathroom, as this is going to be a really quick race. The average race here taking just under 45 minutes to run, Kelly, and with the speeds up and the grip level up, we could see a really record pace here tonight for the SONATTY 125, and this will be your starting lineup as the field starts to populate around here. And we know that Bryan Hacker set the Al Speed Shop fast time in qualifying. He'll be going to the tail. This is your starting lineup. Starting up on the pole will be car number 33, that is Braden Campbell. And to his outside will be the 89 of Dustin Shepard. Dylan Connor will roll off in roll number 3. Outside of him, the race number 1 winner, that would be Dante Curtis, rolling off 4th. Rookie sensation Travis Sokup going to roll off 5th, and outside of him, the driver out of Quebec, this is Guillaume Fortin. Braden Elvis will roll off in spot number 7, and Jeff Bergner will round out your J&T Farms top 8 redraw as the field starts to roll around. This is what the rest of your top 12 look like, is Gary Eschen will roll off 10th. Scott Austin will be headed to the back of the field after EOL penalty, and Dan Janjanin starting 12th.
Amos Odegaard rolls off in 13th. Justin McDuff makes his first start of the season in 14th. Ryan Johnson 15th. Matt Cook in 16th. 17th, Adam Gable. 18th, Rodney Huntoon. 19th will be Justin Grosser. Randy Nichols starts back in 20th. Josh Cole 21st. 22nd to Scott Negus. Travis Heffler in 23rd. Louis Flowers in 24th. Chad McLeod in 25th. 26th, Mike Tashera. Robbie Clavey, and then Brian Troyer will round out our 28-car field.
28-car field. The field rolling down into their green flag is up, and we are underway with the SONATTY 125.
Yeah, Braden Campbell going to lead the field coming out of turn 2. He's going to have a clear racetrack, going to get himself right up to the wall. Just behind him, though, it is a battle for position as Dustin Shepard and Dylan Connor fight side by side. Right behind them, looks like Dante Curtis has got himself some clear track, so he's able to run all the way up to the wall, all the way down, but he's actually staying about a lane off the wall, trying to defend that inside line. It's a big bump just behind him as we are nearly 3 wide, and Brandon Elvis going to the bottom side underneath the 45 of Travis Sokup.
He's going to get a little bit sideways, have to chase that car up to racetrack. Here comes Odegaard in that 60 car as he's trying to make some ground up. The 23 of Gary Eschen rolling outside of the racetrack as well. Jeff Bergner out there as already 4 laps are in as the field rolls off of turn number 2. And Kelly, turn number 2 is going to be one of our trouble spots along with turn 4. That wall comes up really quick as these drivers try to gain that momentum around here. The top 4 or 5 cars all single file now as Elvis will move into the 6th spot.
Yeah, Elvis going to finally get himself clear. That 45 Sokup going to have to drop down to the bottom. Jeff Bergner trying to make that outside line work, but Amos Odegaard in the 60, he's going to get himself through. He's already moved himself up on a fair number of positions, and now he's going to move the 45 up. Gary Eschen going to go to the bottom, 3 wide down into turn 3. This is not going to work. Amos Odegaard going to lunge forward and get into the side of that 45 once again, sending Travis right up to the wall, and somehow we stay all pointed in the right direction as cars are banging off each other's doors.
You did not expect to see that one there. There's 3 wide. It was not going to be the answer, but 8 tires turn better than 4, Kelly, as that's what they've said. Is Ryan Johnson now underneath Soak Up. Soak Up on the outside. Dan Jan in there. How about the 91 of Adam Gable working his way up through the field, as well as we see this battle back there. Justin Grosser in the 16. Trying to make his way forward. Josh Cole in that number 9 car. He is working his way underneath the 20 of Justin McDuff. And the driver out of Houston, the 69 of Randy Nichols, hasn't quite figured out qualifying just yet with these Sandi Paws street stocks, but keep an eye on that 69 car. He should be making his way towards the front here. As this one already 10 laps in, as we got a bid for your race lead.
Yeah, Dylan Connor on the bottom side of Braden Campbell trying to get himself through to the race lead. Just behind them, there's a 3-way battle for 3rd place as well. Dylan Connor going to sneak around there as Braden Campbell not quite going to be able to fight back. He's going to have to drop down to that 2nd lane. Dante Curtis still holds on to 3rd place as Guillaume Fortin gets underneath Dustin Shepard. Shepard still holding pretty well on that outside line, but look how much Brandon Elvis has caught up to them. Elvis now looking to follow one of these drivers through, looking to see who's going to win this fight so that he can improve his position as well. And it looks like it's going to be Fortin as Shepard goes up towards the wall there. Shepard still trying to make that outside line work, but he's going a little too high up, kind of losing out and missing the grip that's there on that high side, up into the gray where the rubber isn't there, and has dropped now back to 5th place. Right behind them, Amos Odegaard is under pressure from Gary Eschen.
And Gary Eschen was really trying to get the middle number 23 up underneath them, as he's got Bergner right there. Ryan Johnson rounding out your top 10. Already 15 laps onto the board as we watch this battle back here for the 7th spot. And Bergner right there as well, trying to make some ground up. How about the side-by-side action, though, is Justin Grosser. Oh, Justin McDuff into the outside wall, and that number 20 car. He's still 3 wide. Jan Jennings going to get sideways. Oh, 1 car hard into the inside wall. I believe that was Mike Taschereau with the 27, and we will stay green, but a tough break for Taschereau, who has heavy right front damage there.
Yeah, Taschereau got hit down right into the pit divider. Hard lick for him, and I think that's going to be the end of his night. That car is completely junked on the front end. As we are still battling on the racetrack, Braden Campbell has dropped way back here as he has now lost a spot to Elvis coming off of turn 4. And that means he's going to drop all the way back into 5th. So our pole sitter now sitting in 5th place. Dylan Connor leading this race for now, and it is now Connor Curtis Fortin.
Then lap traffic going to be coming up. The first car that they will encounter will be the 40 of Lewis Flowers. Flowers in that Ford Thunderbird working off turn number 4. The leader just about a half a straightaway behind him. Is that battle still there? Is Dante Curtis now up to the number 2 spot, bringing Fortin and Elvis. Elvis was quick 1 week ago, remember, Kelly, but had some trouble in that number 4 car that took him out of contention. But he had a lot of pace at the Myrtle Beach Speedway and showing a lot of pace early on here at the Southern National Motorsports Park.
He has got 3 drivers separating him from 1st place, and those are 3 very fast drivers. Dylan Connor, Dante Curtis, Guillaume Fortin. Connor running the fastest lap of the race so far with a 15.162. Dante Curtis already having a race win here, and we know Guillaume can compete for wins week after week. So if Elvis wants to make his name as a rookie here, he's going to have to do it against some of the toughest drivers in this series. He is still holding well. He's already improved a few spots here tonight, already made a few passes, but he's got a few more to set up to go for that race lead.
A little bit deeper in the field, we got some good side-by-side battles. Is now Scott Austin working his way up from the back side of the field. Right there behind him, last week's winner at the Myrtle Beach Speedway, the number 2 of Bryan Hacker. They're trying to make it through. Is Justin McDuff, Rodney Huntoon. Side by side, Travis Sokup working the outside of the speedway, the number 1 of Travis Hoffler. As these guys all working side by side, this is a battle outside the top 15 as they all try to make their way forward here as they work off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch.
Yeah, while the front of the field is kind of stretched out and in single file, these guys are battling for position. They are side by side, and it looks like Scott Austin's being held up a little bit by that 20 of Justin McDuff. The outside line starting to seem like it's getting a little bit of pace here coming off of the corner, at least in this part of the field. I saw Rodney Huntoon get himself clear of McDuff. And now Negus is starting to pull alongside in that 55, and Scott Austin's going to basically cut his teammate off, move up to that outside lane, and see if he can make the move on the outside of the 20.
Yeah, Bryan Hacker going to switch lanes. He'll go down to the bottom side of the racetrack for the time being. Jan Jannon right there. And how about those two cars, Kelly? They look almost identical out there. The number 2, the Camaro of Bryan Hacker, working now the outside of the 20 of McDuff. The number 2 of Jan Jannon behind him. He works there in spot number 23. So not a lot of movement out of last week's winner. Already up to the 21st spot after starting 28th.
Yeah, still a long ways for him to go, but there's still a lot of time left. We're just under 100 laps now, so lots of opportunities for Bryan Hacker and Scott Austin to get themselves back up to the front of the field. Biggest movers at the moment looks to be Randy Nichols and Josh Cole. Both of those guys have gone up 8 positions. Oh, and Heffler was there for a second. He also had 8 positions for a moment, but has lost that ground as he is battling side by side with Justin Grosser right now.
Yeah, him and Grosser having a good battle there in the 45. Ahsoka able to get back to the bottom. A little bit of bumper tag that slows up that line. They get stacked up once again. Grosser rolling the outside as they all still try to chase as Matt Cook starts to run away from them, looking to race down to number 9 as Dante Curtis rolls in ever so close. So we're keeping an eye on this battle as this action is incredible here in the Sandi Paws rescue as, oh, Scott Negus sideways. Somehow he saves it. We stay green.
And they're going to be 3 wide going into turn 3 as the 20 of McDuff on the outside, Dan Jannon on the inside, and Negus just stuck with nowhere to go in the middle. None of these drivers are backing out. All 3 of them fighting for position. And it looks like the 20 is finally going to lose ground. He's going to tag the wall coming off of turn 2. And it looks like Scott Negus has got control of his car once again. And he's rolling that outside lane. He's actually going to be the winner of that 3-way battle.
He is. Meanwhile, up front, Dante Curtis right to the back bumper of the 90 of Connor. Took a peek to the inside that time off of turn number 2. Was unable to do it now that he falls back in line as they just continually ride there. But the 13 able to charge the corner, Kelly, about a half car back. So the top 4 cars all nose to tail, and a little bit of a big gap back to the 5th place running Braden Campbell. A little bit further back is the 6th spot will be the 89 of Dustin Shepard. Jeff Bergner runs in 7th as they navigate around Lewis Flowers. Our first car 1 lap down.
Yeah, our top 4 are separated by an 1/8 of a second, and then the gap between 4th and 5th is over a second. So that's just going to show just how tight of a battle we've got here at the front of the field. Dante Curtis looks like he's got pace. It looks like he's got the grip. Maybe he's just waiting for his opportunity, maybe seeing if he can force Dylan Connor to kind of burn those tires off to make the pass a little bit easier for himself. But at the same time, he has got Guillaume Fortin knocking at the door alongside Brandon Elvis just behind them. So a tight battle here towards the front of the field as we are closing in on another lap car. Looks like it's going to be Brian Troyer and Robbie Clavey up next.
Yeah, and as you look forward, if you're these drivers that are out front, you can start to see what's going on in front of you as you continually put some good lap times in there. That's where the battle is really hard back there. Oh, we got trouble on the front stretch. They are stacked up. It looked like the 12 of Huntoon has slowed up. Negus is this battle. These 8-10 cars are no hold bar racing, and the race leaders are going to be coming to them, Kelly. That's when they're going to have to start making some decisions. They are about a straightaway behind them, and these guys are stacked up 2 by 2. Which lane to go in is going to make or break this race, and that could be a really big deciding factor a little bit here in a few laps.
Yeah, here in the mid-pack, like, there is no difference between the top and bottom line. These guys are both running these lines very well. Oh, big tap there between the 12 and the 2 of Jan Jannon, as Rodney Huntoon nearly sent Jan Jannon down into the inside wall. Jan Jannon was able to catch it and keeps back on the track. Here's Rodney Huntoon now going to swap that bottom lane, as looked like Scott Austin was able to get through on the bottom and get past the 16 of Grosser. Austin, one of those guys that was moved to the back of the field here to start the night, and he's been moving his way slowly forward along with Bryan Hacker. Hacker sits in 15th, his teammate Austin in 17th. As the race leaders get closer and closer, we've got another car that looks to have pulled it behind the wall. We had lost Mike Tasher out earlier on with that heavy impact, but now it appears Gary Eschen, we have lost him as well.
Yeah, not really sure what happened to Gary. As he entered the pits and has pulled the 23 behind the wall momentarily, so something going awry on that 23 car. As Scott Austin looks to take a look underneath the number 1 of Travis Hoffler. That would be the battle for the 15th, but inside the top 10, Amos Odegaard under attack as the 69 of Nichols trying to put some pressure on him to take that 10th spot or 9th spot away, and he's brought Adam Gable in that 91 car with him as well.
Oh, Nichols nearly slid up into Odegaard. He somehow managed to hold on to it and then avoided Adam Gable, who stuck his nose underneath the 69 car. So now Adam Gable trying to work that inside line. Now Gable gonna slide a bit of a tap there to Nichols. Nichols able to keep that car pointed in the right direction. These guys are racing hard here at Southern National. We were expecting a bit of a single file parade, but it has been anything but. The top lane has come in a lot faster than pretty much anyone could have guessed.
The last time by was 50 laps in, 50 to go for our race leader Dylan Connors, who's inching closer to lap traffic. Is the top 5 at the halfway point is Dylan Connor, Dante Curtis, Guillaume Fortin, Braden Elvis, and Braden Campbell, your top 5.
Al, 125 tonight.
Oh, 125, that's right.
We were 100 last week. It's 125 this week, with it being a bit of a shorter track here. Southern National, a bit shorter, a bit faster. These guys have that high bank, and they're carrying a lot of speed as Dylan Connor is closing up to the back of the pack. And Dante Curtis, he started to take a look now. He's starting to look and take a peek to the outside, to the inside. He's trying to see where he can maybe get some pace comparison to Dylan Connor. So Dante Curtis wanting to make his move. He's pressing up against that 90 car. We could not take our eyes off this one. Looks like Dante Curtis is going to try to go for the race lead. He's looking underneath Connor this time through 3 and 4. Not going to be able to get there, though.
Yeah, the momentum up on the outside, able to keep the 90 in front of him. But Dante started to run more of a diamond line a couple laps ago, especially when they got to lap traffic. Maybe just saving those tires. He'll maybe have a little bit better mobility in lap traffic here. As the lap traffic is heavy in front of them.
Yeah, they are about to run into a traffic jam as they're going to catch the main part of the field, and a lot of guys that are still battling for position and battling for points, so they're not really going to give way to the leaders quite so easily. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge here for Connor and Curtis to cut their way through the field, and it may provide an opportunity for Curtis to make a move on Connor. Maybe even Guillaume can find his way through as well, but Brandon Elvis was the 4th car in that line. He's dropped back quite a bit, so those tires may have fallen off the 4 car.
Yeah, he had a good pace a little bit earlier on here, but who would have thought that 58, make it 59 laps in now, we would have been all green flag, as now your race leader works up underneath the RC2 Graphic Solution 73 of Robbie Clavey. Clavey running in the 24th spot as the race leaders will work on by, but then they're going to have to make some decisions here, Kelly, as the 93 of Chad McLeod and the 16 of Justin Grosser are all double filed right there in front of your race leader, trying to pick out what lane to go with. That's going to be the deciding factor as lap traffic continues to be heavy for your race leaders.
Well, Grosser lost out on that position, and he's actually quite slow in front of the leaders. It's forcing Dylan Connor to go underneath him. And he's going to finally find a gap underneath that 16 car. He's going to get himself, try to get through as, nearly get tagged by the 16, who appears to be struggling with the handling on that car. So the 16 of Grosser is kind of struggling a little bit on the high side, trying to hold off as the leaders get by him. As we are now going to see Curtis get himself not quite clear. Looks like Grosser is still trying to hold on to as much momentum as possible. He does not want to lose touch with the rest of this field.
Right now, that would be the free pass run there until the race leaders get to some more lap traffic. As the next one up will be the 93 of Chad McLeod, McLeod in the 93 car running in that 23rd spot. And I tell you, they're still battling hard in front of them. A little bit further up is Travis Hoffler. He's still side by side with Scott Austin, Ronnie Huntoon, and Justin McDuff, all side by side here as lap traffic playing a factor. But Dante Curtis, a half second back now, as the 90 is able to open up some gaps here during in-lap traffic.
Yeah, Dylan Connor been able to find those gaps, able to open up the distance between himself and Curtis. Guillaume Fortin going to close up a little bit to Dante, but now Dante getting a good run off of turn 2, avoiding those 2 lap cars, and he's going to keep himself in touch with Dylan Connor. But that gap has grown from basically inches to over half a second.
Yeah, right now the battle for first, now 6/10, make it almost 7/10 of a second. And maybe lap traffic is all the 90 needed as maybe as they work off the corner. This is turned it into a long run race with a lot of lap traffic, Kelly. This is what makes it interesting. This is what we were talking about we might see here. It's either really, really good racing here like we're seeing, or sometimes it takes a little bit to get to this point. And already just past the halfway point, it is Dylan Connors out front over Dante Curtis. Guillaume Fortin, Brandon Elvis, and Braden Campbell, your top 5. Ryan Johnson is 6th, Jeff Bergner 7th, Dustin Shepard, Randy Nichols, and Adam Gable rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, biggest mover after the halfway point. That is Randy Nichols in the 69 car. He's gone all the way up to 9th place after starting back in 20th. So he's trying to get some good points here tonight, trying to catch up to Bryan Hacker, but now just a couple spots behind him. That is Bryan Hacker. Caution's going to come out for the first time tonight. We're going to take a look on the racetrack. Looks to be Travis Heffler is sideways on the back stretch.
Right in front of the race leader, Travis Hoffler, the front end missing on the bumper cap of the number 1 car. As our first mad plowing yellow flag comes out here tonight, and Mad Plowing, the presenting sponsor of our yellow flag, and they are your go-to landscaping company in Oregon, Wisconsin area, specializing in snow removal during the winter and mowing services all summer long. Whether it's cleaning your driveway or keeping your lawn looking pristine, they've got you covered. Call 608-217-3528 for all your landscaping and snow removal needs. And we thank them for being the proud sponsor of that. As let's take a look here and see, is everybody coming down pit road right now for, looks like a little bit of fuel. Dante Curtis going to be the first one off of pit road though, Kelly.
Yeah, Dylan Connor is still down there. Everyone's clearing out past Dylan Connor, and he's still stopped. I'm starting to wonder if he's got himself a penalty. Maybe he came into the pit road a little too fast here as he went all the way back. I mean, taking a look at these pit times, I'm seeing 14, 15 seconds and then 31 for Dylan Connor.
Yeah, maybe took some tires, but let's take a look back here and see what happened to the one Hoffler to put us underneath this Mad Plowing yellow flag. Came off the corner, Kelly just got up into the left rear or left door, and Ronnie Huntoon nowhere to go, and heavy contact to the inside wall. So that'll be our first yellow flag of the evening.
So taking a look at it, it looked like there was Dylan Connor did not have left side tires. So I'm trying to figure out what happened with him there. He had a bit of a stopped long in his box, but still, it is a very, very long stop for him.
And the Mad Plowing choose cone happened, and it looks like a yellow flag going to come back out. I believe they should be choosing this time. SoCup not coming down pit road, staying out there. So everyone else has come down to at least top fuel off. So the field will roll by as we've got the Mad Plowing choose, I believe, taking place. Or the field is still trying to get organized, aren't they, Kelly?
Yeah, field trying to just figure out if they did pass the choose cone or not. Looks like the officials are going to extend the caution. We are trying to figure out what the order is, as well as it sounds like Dante Curtis is being told to get waved around as we're just trying to get things figured out. I think Travis was the lucky dog, so he should really be towards the back of the field.
Okay. You have the race comms there. He's in touch.
It's the race comms.
It's confusing,
are very busy
right?
as they try to get this all sorted out.
I would not want to be an official at this point. Tell you. But how about that first opening stint? Almost over 70 laps of green flag racing here, and the field now getting doubled up as they've gone through the mad plowing choose cone. I believe they will extend the yellow flag, as now Elvis will move to the outside of the front row. Gives us a moment to take a breath, Kelly. That was a good opening stint.
Yeah, well, it was. There was a lot of tight racing, a lot of drivers moving around. I thought it was going to be a single file procession, not a lot of passing, but it's been anything but. We've seen drivers move, few drivers that have moved up double-digit positions.
Closing in on about 46 laps to go right now. Next time by will be 45. Here in the SONATTY 125. Dante Curtis, your new race leader. As they are into the restart zone, and the green flag is up, and we are back underway.
Yeah, Dante Curtis getting a great start. He's going to lead the field through turns 1 and 2, but these drivers are going to have to get used to these new tires. These things are going to be cold, a little bit less grip. They have to wait a couple laps for them to heat up after all those laps on those previous set of tires, but Dante Curtis going to keep leading the field here. Brandon Elvis going to be fighting side by side with Guillaume Fortin. Fortin holding the bottom, Elvis on the outside just behind them. Dustin Shepard looking for his own way through. His bit of contact nearly sends Guillaume Fortin to the inside wall.
Oh, look, they almost there. Is everyone working at outside? How about Elvis showing some muscle up on the outside and quickly will drop down to the inside as they work up down here off the corner. It looks like Elvis only on pit lane for 3.67 seconds, so a splash of fuel and go, Kelly, for that number 4 car.
Yeah, a few drivers taking a very short stop, maybe just getting enough fuel to get themselves to the end, so they were able to get themselves out there. Dante Curtis was able to get himself in the lead off of that start, but Brandon Elvis still trying to chase him down. He's got himself clear of Fortin. Dustin Shepard still trying to chase them as well, but we also see Ryan Johnson. He's moved himself up 10 spots. He's sitting in 5th now, and he's looking to improve that to maybe a podium finish tonight.
Oh, trouble off the corner to number 1, a Hoffler around once again. And our second mad plowing yellow flag of the night going to come out as Hoffler lost the handles once again off turn number 2. Not sure if he had any helping hand or not, as he does not look to be happy.
Yeah, he got sent around. Looks like Jan Janin got included as well,
and some extra track curriculars as he and Huntoon get together. I don't think they'll be exchanging invitations to Thanksgiving.
I don't believe so, but I think that is going to be the end of the night for the 1 car, as not only that, but he gave himself an extra bit of damage on top of that, so that car is pretty beat up. We've also got, looks like Jan Janin has also pulled it off the racetrack. He took a hard shot to the inside wall in that last caution.
As we look at the incident from lap number 7, this was on the restart now. The 21 car to the inside, the 9 car underneath him. And not sure Rodney had anything to do with that. But either way, we will move on.
Yeah, drivers have hit the choose cone. They have chosen their lanes. Looks like Brandon Elvis once again electing to be on the outside of Dante Curtis. So we'll go around one more time. Dante will lead this field back to green. And it'll be Curtis, Elvis, Fortin, Johnson, McDuff, and Shepard. So Justin McDuff has found his way up towards the front.
Yeah, Justin, one of those drivers, the part-time schedule, and made the limited starts one season ago, finds himself down here at Southern National Motorsports Park and finds himself up inside the top 10. As the yellow flag for mad plowing about to be extinguished, green flag is up, and we are back underway.
Once again, Brandon Ellis not getting a great start there, and he's going to get a bit of a push down into turn 1 from Ryan Johnson. Now in Fortin, going to be on his inside, looking to take second place away from him. And he's going to get a good run off of turn 4 as the 4 car kind of slid up the racetrack a little bit, but he was able to power back down that straightaway, and Elvis was able to keep alongside Fortin. So field is side by side, stacked up all the way through as everyone's looking for a position, looking for that grip, looking for another spot, but not many drivers able to find it.
No, the outside lane not as good this time for the 4 of Elvis, as now Bryan Johnson swings to the inside after cutting the nose off the 89 of Dustin Shepard. A little bit of contact between the 38 and 4 as they head to turn number 1. Still door to door off of turn number 2 and drag racing down the backstretch. More contact into 3.
Those cars banging doors just behind them, as well as some shots being exchanged between the 69 and the 20 car as these drivers are getting their elbows out. They are finding where they can go as we've got 30 laps to go here. Still a battle between the 4 and 38 of Elvis and Johnson. Neither of these drivers giving up an inch. They have just been swapping paint every single corner.
They're working up underneath the Elvis there. More contact. We are on the
McDuff
door.
goes around. McDuff getting involved in an accident, getting put into the wall alongside Randy Nichols, but somehow he was able to get straightened out on the wall. So we are going to stay green, but I think there's some heavy damage to that 20 car as he's just moving out of the way. Yeah, he has basically dropped the anchor now. I think he's trying to find his way to the bottom so we can come down pit road possibly, because that car is wounded at this moment, and that is a tough break for Randy Nichols, who had fought his way up towards the top 5 all the way from 20th, and now finds himself in 15th with a little bit of damage as well.
Hale falling behind the 9 of Josh Cole as they work off the corner. Kirk, and next time by 25 laps remaining. In early race leader Dylan Connor, he has found himself behind the Austin Design number 5 as he'll cut up underneath them. And Kelly, like you said, extended stop in pit road. Did he take tires, and will that be a difference maker as they work off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch? Does he have enough time to get there with 24 to go, this time at the line?
Well, I had seen that he had taken right sides at the very least, so he has got some fresh rubber on the rights of that 90 car. And is it going to be enough? It is a tough ask here, as there is under 25 to go, and these laps are going to tick by quickly. Only 15 seconds a lap right now, so Dylan Connor having to make his way up the field here. He's up into 7th. He's just behind Scott Austin, but at the front we have got a battle between Dante Curtis and Guillaume Fortin, as those two drivers have pulled a gap over the rest of the field. Over a second separates Fortin in 2nd and Johnson in 3rd.
Many moons ago, Guillaume Fortin in a different league pulled an outside pass on the last lap here at the Southern National Motorsports Park. Will we see another photo finish that Southern National is so famous for? These two drivers nose to tail, takes a look to the inside, that time off turn number 2. Guillaume nothing doing that time in the turn 3. Fortin really right there on the back bumper of Dante Curtis, and Curtis keeping him in tow as they have opened up about a 1 second gap over 3rd place running Ryan Johnson, who has made his way around the 4 of Elvis. Dustin Shepard is 5th as they work here with 19 laps to go in the SONATTY 125.
Yeah, not a lot of time left, and a very quick lap that time from Dante Curtis, putting down a 15.594, faster than Guillaume and Ryan Johnson, so opening that gap up just a little bit more. But Guillaume is right on the bumper of Curtis, and he is not going anywhere. That time Guillaume a little bit faster, so he closes the gap back up. So it is a tight battle between Curtis and Fortin, and I think it's going to be tight all the way to the end of this one.
Yeah, right now everybody kind of minding their own P's and Q's, single filed it out here around the racetrack a little bit deeper in the pack. Bryan Hacker has made his way to the 10th spot here tonight after starting 28th on the grid. He's up behind the 91 of Gable. He'll try to cut down though. Can't do it that time. Off of the corner, Matt Cook, also a driver, kind of quietly made his way inside the top 10. Kelly sits in the 8th spot. It's just in front of him. The number 90 of Dylan Connor takes a look underneath Scott Austin.
And Dylan Connor going to get to the inside of Scott Austin. He's going to get himself completely through. So that 90 car going to continue his charge towards the front of the field. And we're also seeing Elvis putting a lot of pressure on Johnson for 3rd place. So he is trying to get himself into those podium spots. But Brian Johnson, he is holding strong, but he's going to slide up the track a little bit off of 2.
The last time by, your top 3 cars all about the same. Shepard, Elvis, and Connor, the fastest cars on the racetrack, as they are all closing up on the backside of 3rd place, running Ryan Johnson. Curtis and Fortin flip-flopping the fast laps back and forth between them two, as they are still separated by less than 2/10 as Scott Negus goes around, and yellow flag coming out for the 3rd time as Scott Negus' 55 is pointed back in the right direction off of turn number 4.
Yeah, Scott Negus getting a little bit of contact between a couple of cars. We'll get the replay queued up here in a moment, but I think the 55 has avoided any major damage.
He's working the outside of the 69 and made a little contact. Oh, Josh Cole just got in the corner, Kelly, and just looked like he got tight and got into the left rear quarter panel, and a little bit of a slide for the 55, and that will do it. As Dustin Shepard, as we come back to live pictures, comes down pit road here with 10 laps to go.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good call to come down pit road. There's a few drivers that have done so, but we do not have many laps left, and a few of these are going to get ticked by under caution. So I guess their hope is that they can just charge around the rest of the field. I mean, there was about over half a second in tire fall off, so if they took tires, then maybe they could do it. But it looks like these guys are having very quick stops. Maybe they just needed to top off the fuel tanks.
Yeah, Shepard definitely took right side tires, so he'll come back out in the 13th spot before heading into our choose, as they'll come off of turn number 4. I believe the choose will be next time by. Oh, it looks like it's going to be this time. And Fortin choosing the outside, Kelly.
Yeah, not too surprising. He's going to want to stay side by side with Dante Curtis, but it is tough to get a good restart as you're basically having to watch out your left window to see when that leader fires. So we'll have to watch, wait, and see what Dante Curtis does and if Guillaume is going to be able to answer. We are going to be under 10 to go when we come back to green, so it is not going to be a lot of time for Fortin to be able to make that move.
Definitely not. Gonna have to see if he can stay alongside the 03 is the control car. They take the green flag. It'll be 6 laps left here at the Southern National Motorsports Park, which has been a great race so far this evening. Let's see if these drivers can finish it off. Pace car down in, and the 03 gets a good start. Ryan Johnson going to get a good start too, but Fortin able to hold on. He's going to charge it in on the outside.
Yeah, Fortin going to be forced to stay on that high side as Johnson was able to get his nose down there. And now Fortin, whoa, he's going to get turned a little bit. And he's going to hang on to it. The big winner of this is going to be Brandon Elvis. He's going to try to sneak up the inside right through the middle. 3 wide coming off of turn number 2. Johnson to the inside. He's going to bang doors with Elvis. Elvis trying to make that move right up the middle as Guillaume hangs on that outside lane. Now Elvis coming down and he clips the 38 a little bit of Johnson. Johnson still trying to keep his nose in on the inside, but Elvis going to finally get himself through, get himself clear. He's going to move into second place. What a move to take second place away.
Yeah, and a little bit of contact behind him as Ryan is now Johnson underneath the 13 of Fortin. Fortin right to the back bumper of Elvis. Meanwhile, 3 laps to go, and we're looking to Dante Curtis looking to be their first repeat winner of the season. Still come out the corner. Popsicle sticks are up. 2 laps to go.
And Johnson underneath Elvis trying to get second place back here as he is fighting side by side with that 4-car Guillaume 410, sliding back a little bit. Dylan Connor is going to try to get himself there, but we have got 1 lap to go. Dante Curtis, he is just running away while everyone else battles for the remaining podium positions.
Yeah, Dante Curtis out front down the backstretch, but all eyes are on the backs here. Who's going to make it into the podium off of turn number 4? Dante Curtis, our second time winner of the season, finishing second. It's going to be Elvis. Ryan Johnson third, Fortin in fourth. Connor, Austin, Gable, Hacker with a top 10. Shepard and Campbell rounding out your top 10 unofficially. As what a finish there. If you took Curtis out and you watched the rest of that, holy cow.
Yeah, I think the interval that I've got here on timing and scoring between Johnson and Elvis is 0.04. And I think the only ones even possibly even closer may have been Dylan Connor, unless I'm getting a little bit of an error here on timing and scoring. I think Dylan Connor may have also had a very close battle here for his spot with Guillaume Fortin. So, yeah, I think that's right. That was a photo finish as well for 4th place. So yeah, this was a wild race, but Dante Curtis able to run away on that last restart.
He's going to become our first 2-time winner this season is Dante Curtis. We'll start to unstrap. We'll make our way down there for our post-race show right after a quick word from one of our sponsors. Welcome back here to the Turn 3 Racing Network for the North-South Racing League's Sandi Paws Rescue Street Stock Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Thank you for joining in. As now we head in to our post-race show presented by Sim Race Hubs, the place where leagues keep it organized. From schedules and rosters to points, stats, and standings, Sim Racer Hub makes running a league simple so drivers can focus on racing. If you're looking to track your league the easy way, check out simracerhub.com, the official post-race show sponsor of the North-South Racing League. And Kelly, we are starting to get down here on the pit, down here in Victory Lane, as we start looking for our drivers. And we will start pulling them up. But Kelly, what about that race? That was an amazing race.
Yeah, a fantastic final run here right at the end. But you shouldn't take away from the first green flag run that we had. It was a long one there and allowed these drivers to really stretch out, really find their long run pace. And we had a lot of different comers and goers. We had cars getting involved in, or the lead lap cars getting involved with lap traffic, and it was just a wild one here from start to finish.
Yeah, we are down in simracerhub.com Victory Lane as tonight's winner, the 03 of Dante Curtis, our first repeat winner of the season. And Dante, man, you had your work cut out in this one. Talk about this race with us.
Best thing we did, we drew pretty good there. We didn't have to start towards the back of that redraw, and then we didn't have to start at the very back like last week. So got there in position and rode pretty good there with Dustin, and he kind of slipped up, so scooted on by him and then scooted past Braden, and was just going to ride there with Dylan. I don't know how we were going to pass him. I don't think we were, but thank God the pit stops happened, and I think he slid through his box there, and that was the difference, because he was on my ass the whole race. I don't know how he didn't get me there at the end, but he raced me really clean, and much respect to him.
Yeah, how about that opening stint there? We were talking through, you guys were all worried about, we're trying to get down to the bottom in the pre-race show and during the J&D Farms Top 8 redraw. Then you guys go out and run almost over 70 laps, green flag at the start, and lap traffic. How tricky was that, trying to keep pace with Connor? in lap traffic there and trying to pick the right lanes, because lap traffic was in both lanes. How tricky is that as a driver?
Well, it was tricky. I didn't know. I really didn't expect to get a long green flag run. We were all joking in the chat, before the race about over under 9.5 cautions. So I was really shocked we got that long run, because I was trying to save my stuff and kind of ride there because we were good on fuel, and I really wasn't planning on pitting. So, but with lap traffic there, the racetrack, honestly, on that long run, it halfway moved around a little bit. I was able to move up the racetrack just a tad. I didn't want to burn my stuff up running there too long, but it was pretty fast if I moved up. It might have worked to get around Dylan, but we would have had to have been really fast.
We're going to come out of Southern National with a victory here, and looking at the big picture for this, for the rest of the season, what other, you're going to have to start with the shotgun rule at the back next week as the series rolls on into North Wilkesboro, another track that will move around a little bit and has some good characteristics to it. Is it going to be hard or easy to come from? I guess nothing's really ever easy with the caliber of drivers here, but with the wideness of that track, is a little bit easier to get through the field.
Yeah, it might be. It's a bigger track, so we might be in the gas a little more. It might be harder to pass, but we're also getting this new version of Wilkesboro. We haven't got to race on it yet, so looking forward to being on the new and improved and the shiny Wilkesboro, and maybe I've got to turn a couple laps on it, and it's a little better than the old version we had, and it was already good. So hopefully we'll have a good race next week.
All right, my man. Well, congratulations on being our first two-time winner this season. Putting your flag in the sand there as a championship contender. Who makes it all possible for the 03 car to be in victory lane here for the second time this season?
Yeah, I just got to thank all the guys back at DCD Racing, Dustin, Gary, Dan. Tough race for the rest of those guys tonight. Dustin didn't take enough fuel, but it kind of worked out towards the end. He got back a little bit. Got to thank my dad for always watching back at home. All the guys at NSRL for giving us a great place to race, and you guys for a good broadcast. Always good to come in here and talk to you guys after the race.
Well, congratulations there, Dante, and enjoy this one. We hope to see you just up the road a little bit to North Wilkesboro here in 1 week's time. Have a good week, and good luck to you and all your racing endeavors.
Thanks, guys. See y'all then.
Dante Curtis going to pick up the win here tonight, Kelly. Become our first repeat winner of this season. 3 races in, 7 to go. We have caught up now with a driver who might be the show here tonight, the number 4 of Brandon Elvis.
Yeah, here now with Brandon Elvis. And Brandon, of course, you've got to walk us through what happened there on that last restart, going 3 wide up the middle for second place. How did that work out for you?
Well, it actually worked out good, but I was expecting the worst. No, I had to do something. Brian Johnson and I were side by side, and he got into the back of Fortin there just a little bit and kind of knocked him up into my lane. Well, it killed Fortin's momentum, so I had to dive underneath him. If I stayed behind him, I would have fell back to 6th or 7th probably. So luckily there was enough room to get in there, and then we raced 3 wide for a lap or 2 there and kept sending it in, hoping it'd stick, and it did.
Well, are you feeling a little claustrophobic after tonight? It looked like very close quarters racing and not a lot of space in the corners. How did you manage to keep your car as clean as it is?
Oh man, it's a testament to the guys in this league. Honestly, I mean, these guys all race really well. Great side by side racing tonight. I was gained a lot of respect for the folks in here tonight, and I just had a lot of fun.
Well, next week we are going to North Wilkesboro, and I believe it is the new repaved North Wilkesboro. So what are you expecting from that racetrack?
Probably a whole lot of the same what you've seen tonight. A lot of tight racing. Car tends to get tight there. Hopefully they turn the heat up on the racetrack there, and we're a pretty warm racetrack. We can go and slide these things around a little bit. It'll be a lot of fun.
All right, Brandon. So thank you for coming out and talking to us. Before we let you go, though, who would you like to thank for your second place run here tonight?
Yeah. First, just thank my wife for letting me do this 3 or 4 nights a week. I'm grateful for that. My mom and dad for watching. Coastal Performance, Barry Elvis Performance and Fab, Chestnut Hill Restaurant, Coleman Design, BK Designs. Just
the North South Racing League for putting us on, and Turn 3 for broadcasting for us.
All right, Brandon, thanks for coming and talking to us. Hopefully we'll hear from you next week at North Wilkesboro.
I sure hope so.
So that was your second place finisher here tonight, your top rookie, Brandon Elvis. But now moving along, we're going to catch up with who I believe is our biggest mover tonight, our third place finisher of Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson going to move up 12 spots here tonight. Going to earn that hard charger award by RC2 Graphic Solutions. But Ryan, man, the gloves were off on that last restart. 2-3 wide. Did you ever think about going 4 wide if the opportunity was there?
Yeah, Dylan was just telling me he considered it, but I'm glad he didn't. 3 wide, my God, we almost lost it a couple times, even 3 wide. I didn't realize we were 3 wide a few of those times, and I mean, we got. It speaks to the skill level that we were able to hold on to it every time. But yeah, I was just trying to hold on at the end there. I think I burned my tires up and couldn't get the car to rotate anymore. But got P3, so I mean, we'll take it. It's not too bad.
Not too bad leaving Southern National, and in that opening stint there. Having to come back from the 15th starting spot and having that first 70 laps go green. How mentally taxing is that this track, such a rhythm racetrack, and then also racing in lap traffic? We saw the gaggle of cars that were running side by side, and the lines kind of stalled out mid-pack there.
Yeah, towards the end, towards when the caution happened, there was a huge pack in front of me. I just kind of slowly tried to work my way around some people, and I mean, we were gaining spots here and there, but those long runs, you really have to focus, and if you lose it even a little bit, then you're like, oh great, now I just lost 2 more tenths, I got to make that back if you're faster, you know. And it seemed like everyone was pretty equal on that longer run, and just trying to get as much as I could. And if I caught that big pack, I don't know what I would have done, because I'm not sure if we would have had to pit had it went green. But yeah, once you get side by side, it gets really hard to pass. You got to keep your momentum up, whether you're on the top or the bottom. And if they pinch you, you know, enough on the top, then you lose all your momentum, or you got to check up, and it gets difficult quick, especially with these guys in this league. They're really good.
Yeah, you're talking about the caliber of driver here and how good they are. A third place finish has got to feel like a win, and you were right there battling with some of the best that NSRL has seen over the years, and some of these new rookies coming in here and showing that they have speed right out of the gate. Next week we head off to North Wilkesboro. I'm being told the pavers were there today, so it's going to be the newer version of North Wilkesboro, but we know that track always provides a lot of great racing. What's the outlook heading into North Wilkesboro next week with probably a lot of unknowns with the fresh repave?
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I mean, I have no idea what to expect. Hope it's a good race. I hope you are able to still run multiple grooves. That definitely made the old Wilkesboro more fun. Yeah, I don't know. We'll be there. We'll see what happens. I don't know what to expect. So hopefully it goes good.
Well, it'll be fun to find out. We'll learn together. We'll roll the red carpet out for you. Who makes it all possible for you to be here on the SimRacerHub.com post-race show?
Yeah, just all the admins at NSRL putting this on. It's always a blast. You guys up in the booth for broadcasting, and all the drivers, and family and friends maybe that are tuning in to watch. And yeah, we'll see y'all next week.
Sounds good, Ryan. Congratulations on your third place finish. Safe travels home. We'll see you in North Wilkesboro in 1 week's time.
Thanks, buddy.
Ryan Johnson going to finish third, Kelly, and that will do it for our SimRacerHub.com post-race show. And we'll throw up the results as we talk about what we saw here tonight as we look through these results, find out where your favorite driver finished. A lot of comers, a lot of goers, a lot of great side-by-side action. That's what I'm going to take out of this race here for the Sandi Paws Rescue Street Stock Series.
Yeah, and once again, I'm going to say I was completely wrong at the start of this one. It was way more side-by-side action than we thought it was, and in practice, it looked like everyone was just kind of hugging the bottom, and any time that someone was in that second lane, they just kind of slid by or slid behind the car that was on the bottom. So we thought just from seeing that, it was going to be a hunt for the bottom. It was going to be a race where that yellow line was the key. But that did not be the case tonight. We had drivers all over the place, top side, bottom side, right up the middle in Brandon Elvis's case, and it was a fantastic run. We had a long run with a lot of strategy in the beginning of this race, and then a battle right at the end and sprint for the win.
That definitely was, and you know, your prediction was about as wrong as my halfway of the race math that I did. So, but man, what a great race! Southern National, not disappointing once again. I don't know what to expect. I didn't even know the pavers were out at Wilkesboro, so that one flew over my head. So we'll see what kind of racing we're going to get in 1 week's time. I'm looking forward. North Wilkesboro, always one of those great tracks since it's been, you know, incepted here on the iRacing platform. Really looking forward to what next week's going to bring to us. You know, as that will wrap up the month of September, and it's hard to believe that September's already gone, and that'll be race number 4 in 1 week's time at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. And then we're off into October, Kelly, as soon as we get in the cold season for both of us.
Yeah, but thankfully we don't have to worry about that here in the sim. Things will always stay in the perfect weather, and hopefully as long as they keep producing results like this, I don't care what weather they put in for the sim.
I hear you, man. It was a great race here tonight, and we thank you all for tuning in here to the SimRacerHub.com post-race show for the North-South Racing League Street Stock Series presented by Sandi Paws Rescue. I'd like to also thank RC2 Graphic Solutions, Wizards Designs, Austin Designs, ZooFab Garage, J&G Hardwood Flooring, and Mad Plowing here as proud sponsors and presenting sponsors of the North-South Racing League. For myself, I am Upstate Al alongside our friend from the North, Kelly Dahl. Thank you so much for your patronage. Make sure you hit that like button. Let these drivers know that you appreciate their efforts here tonight. But until 1 week's time, we will see you at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Dante Curtis, victorious here at Southern National. Good night, everybody.